Good morning to all of you. Students, today we will study the types of motion represented by the graph, that is in the chapter 1 of class 9 physics. Okay? Now we will discuss the different graph. So we will start from the first graph. First of all, if we get any graph, we will see that graph is plotted between which quantity. Means you can see that in this graph, this is x-axis, this line is a x-axis. So x-axis time is shown on x-axis. Now this line is the y-axis, vertical line is also called y-axis. This y-axis is represented by the velocity. The unit of velocity is meter per second. The unit of time is second. And as we know that starting point of any graph, that is always 0, 0. What does it mean? It means that at this point the x-axis value is 0 and y-axis value will also be 0. X-axis value will be 0 and y-axis value will also be 0. Now we have to analyze this graph. So first of all, we will see this slope. This line represents a slope, but this slope is formed between velocity and time. The slope of velocity time graph always tell acceleration. The slope, this A to B is slope. The slope of velocity time graph always represent acceleration. Now we have to calculate that this straight line incline, what it shows. So by the calculation we will see that this inclined line, this slope or this acceleration is either uniform or it is variable or it is acceleration or it is retardation. So now we will see that we have to find out the slope of this line A to B. Okay? So student, we know the formula of slope. Slope formula is del y upon del x. Del means change. This triangular sign is called del. Del means change. Okay? Del means change. Okay? And what does it mean? It means change in y-axis, and del x means change in x-axis. Mathematical representation of change means that del y means final y minus initial y. Final y minus initial y. That is the meaning of del y. Now del x meaning is final x minus initial x. This is the mathematical representation of change. So now we are calculating it. So first of all, we can see that this slope is acceleration. Why this slope is acceleration? We can see slope means del y upon del x. So let's see, on y-axis which thing is given? Velocity. So write velocity over here. And on x-axis which thing is given? Time divided by time. So rate of change of velocity is called acceleration. Whenever we divide velocity with time, so we will get acceleration. Okay? So it means that slope meaning is acceleration, and now here we are calculating acceleration 3. What does it mean? That acceleration at this point we are going to calculate. Okay? 3, just I have given the name. So now you have to find out acceleration. All value you have to put in formula. So acceleration, slope means acceleration. Slope formula is final y minus initial y upon final x minus initial x. Now you will see that final y. So this is your line A to B. This is the slope line. So A is the starting point, B is final point. So it means that final y we will get at final point. So what does it mean? It means if we have to find out final y, so we have to go at B point. Why? Because B is the final point. Now from B point we will see the corresponding y-axis. When we see the corresponding y-axis, what we have found? The value is 3. So in place of final y, I will put 3. Okay? After that, according to the formula, initial y. So where we will get initial y? Initial y we will get at initial point. in this slope, which point is initial? A point is initial point, A point is a starting point. Okay. So now at A point you will see y-axis. So at A point the y-axis is 0. Okay. A point is a starting point. So at a starting point x-axis will be 0 and y-axis will also be 0. Okay. So the initial point, the value of y is 0. It means at initial y, what value you will put? You will put 0. Now come to the final x. Final x, where we will get? At final point. What is the final point in this graph? That B. B point is the final point. So now you reach to the B point and see the corresponding x-axis. So when you see the corresponding x-axis, you will find the value is 3. So in place of fx, you will put 3, and after that in initial x, what value you will put? Initial x, where will you get? At initial point. A is the initial point. At A point, what is the value of initial x? That is 0. So at initial x, you will put the value 0. So now you can calculate 3 upon 3, that is equal to 1 meter per second square. Meter per second square is the unit of acceleration. Meter per second square is the unit of acceleration. Now we will calculate acceleration. This at B point we have calculated the acceleration. This acceleration I have given the name A3. Now I will calculate acceleration over here. At that point I will give the name A2. So the same process we will write. Acceleration means slope. Slope formula del y fy minus initial y upon fx minus initial x. Take it. So put that value in this formula for A2. So for A2, what formula you have to use? Final y minus initial y upon final x minus initial x. Now put value at 2 point. So now your slope line is only this one, A to C. Slope line is only this one, A to C. A is the starting point, C is the final point. Take it. So now you people see that at final point, first of all you have to find out final y. So final y you will get at final point. Final point is C. So you reach C, and from C you will see corresponding y-axis. Your corresponding y-axis is 2. So put that value 2 over here. Take it. Now you have to find out initial y. So initial y you will get at initial point, that is A, and at A the value of y is 0. So put 0 over here. Take it. So 2 minus 0. Now next formula fx minus ix, yani the final x. So final x we will get at final point C. From C you will see the corresponding x-axis. You will find value of 2. So this is your final x. Put value over here. Now initial x you have to find out. So initial x you have to go for point A, and at A point the value of x is 0. So put that value 2 minus 0 upon 2 minus 0, that is 2 upon 2, that is equal to 1 meter per second square. It means that acceleration at 3 point, means at this point, is equal to the acceleration at C point. Acceleration at B point is equal to the acceleration of C point. It means it is a uniform acceleration. Which type of acceleration? It is a uniform acceleration. So this graph will show which thing? This graph will show uniform acceleration. Now we will see the second graph. Second graph we will analyze. Again see that the graph is plotted between velocity